This is going to be a lot shorter of a video because we've talked about it a lot so far. So I hope that you've been enjoying the series so far and it's been giving you some tips and tricks and ideas and hopefully the motivation that you need to go forward. But we're going to touch again on burnout. And I keep talking about this because I have experienced it and it's very real. I know people that have gone through it. I mean, a couple of people that I know have been in the hospital because of it. Um, I have had a mental breakdown because of it, and that's not a sissy thing to say. It is true. When you talk to business owners and entrepreneurs, everyone's been there at some point because they just didn't know how to manage it. So let's talk about it for you. Burnout, number one, does not come from working hard. It comes from working without control. You can work super hard. A lot of people work super hard. Ranchers, um, other tradesmen, those people work super hard, but they avoid burnout by setting aside that time to decompress. Burnout appears when you say yes to everything, when you underprice yourself, and when you don't protect your rest. Again, back to pricing. You you start if you price yourself too cheap, you start taking every single job. You start filling up that schedule because you gotta make the money. Um, that's going to lead to not sleeping, stress about money, obviously. And it's going to lead to your schedule being too full. Um, you got to protect your rest. You got to set aside that time, even if it's 4 hours, 1 day a week, just to take a nap, play some video games, read a book, spend time with your friends and family, walk the dog, or all of the above. You got to set aside that time. Maybe it's not 4 hours, maybe it's an entire day. What I do is Sundays, nothing. In fact, I've gone so far a couple of times to buy a flip phone that I can't access anything on and just have it as a phone. And I'll swap the card or whatever I have to do to make sure that that time is protected. Remember that while we're building this side business, we're sustainability. We're not trying to create this grinding mindset. Sometimes you're going to have to grind, but a lot of people champion that hustle and grind mindset. It's not sustainable. So, how do we avoid it? Limit the jobs that you take per week, leave some buffer time in between each job, and stop when you're tired, not when you're broken. A lot of times, especially as men, we're like, oh, well, we're tired, but we'll just keep going. And we keep going and we keep going until something breaks. And that is not the right thing to do, especially if you have a family that is relying on you. You don't prove your seriousness by suffering. That's not the right attitude to have. And you got to remember that energy is your asset and protect it like it's your money. So, in the next video, we're going to be talking about tracking the right numbers. So, stay tuned for that one.